And welcome to Eat Sleep Code, the official Telerik podcast. I'm your host, Ed Charbeneau, and with me is my co-host, John Bristow. How are you doing, John?
Hey, I'm good. How's everyone doing out there? Great. Wonderful.
It's been a very
That's like the
eventful
classic, hey,
day.
how's everyone doing? Great.
It's just been a busy day around the house here, around the office, work from home. Um,
Nice.
just trying to catch up on some of the news this week that we're talking
Yeah,
about,
lots of
and
news.
it's like coming out as we speak. So it's there's been some stuff just recently announced this afternoon that I'm trying to catch up on. So we'll try to talk about some of that.
Yeah, we'll give a nice,
Uh,
ignorant, and uninformed opinion about it. There you go.
of course, that's what this
That's the
show is all
point. The
about,
whole point
John.
of this show, isn't it? Two
It's
morons talking about tech. There you go.
it's literally the whole point of the show. Let's see. Where should we start? Let's
Anywhere.
talk about some CI/CD
Anywhere.
stuff, John. This is one of your
Sure.
posts.
Oh, thank
Ad
you. Thank
laden.
you.
Jeez. Okay. Tech Times. We're paying your bills today.
I know.
Um,
I know.
top five best continuous deployment software in 2023.
Yeah, so I think a lot of people look at these things and they're like, "Oh God, why would I care about deployments?" Well, it turns out to be pretty important. You want to get the bits into the hands of your customers, don't you? Right? So, this is kind of a sort of softball approach to promoting Octopus, but there you go. So, continuous deployment is a bit of a thin slice in terms of the entire pie that is your pipeline. Um, I guess at least from a developer's perspective, and I say that because most developers just see CI and builds and tests and all that as just the main part of what they do. And then after they just throw it over the wall and then it gets deployed somehow. I don't know. Everyone's,
It's
I don't know how it's getting
magic.
deployed. You give it, yeah, I know. Give it to your IT admin. Hey, good luck with that. And then see ya. It's Friday later. Um, but I think that if you take the time to research your options and you invest in possibly a tool like Octopus, you'll find that your deployments will go a lot more smoother and a lot more easily. And there's a lot of options that are out there. And this article here that I'm showing highlights a number of them, including Octopus. So I would say that the main here is not to promote Octopus. The main point here is to promote deployment. Automate your deployments. At least start somewhere with automation. And they differ in terms of who you consider, but there's lots of choice out there. But definitely consider a deployment tool. At least automate your deployments, please. Do not go through the next finish approach of all right, check it over the wall and we're ready to go. So my whole point of promoting this article is not to promote Octopus, even though I do work for Octopus. It's rather to start thinking about your deployments in terms of automation.
Hello, Thindle, watcher of streams. Welcome to the show. Thindle, I think, watches all the Twitch streams these days, and he has his own stream too. But we he should have a meta stream where we watch him watch streams. I think
Yes, that's
that'd be
right.
a go-to show right there.
Perfect.
Um, yeah, CICD. I have you on the show to talk about it, John, because it's all just another world for me. Like
I know.
I use
I think most developers look at that as like flossing. Like they're like, I know I should do it, but who cares? So I'm like, it's the old adage. I mean, you should only floss the teeth that you want to keep, right? That's what dentists will tell you. So um, I would say CICD is worth the investment. I mean, just start somewhere. Just start with a build script and then go from there. So
Yeah, I use the FM deployment model. It's freaking magic. Like I just give it to somebody else and let them do their their
right click
work on it.
deploy. Yes.
Yeah, there you
All
go.
right.
Right click deploy. I
Perfect.
advocate that
Ugh.
pretty hard.
All
Speaking of
right.
DevOps, DevOps
Yes.
leader Build Kite adds package management capabilities with Package Cloud.
Yes, so BuildKite is a great CI solution. We're fans of theirs. They're in Australia, that's why I mentioned them. And
Oh,
they recently announced the acquisition of Package Cloud. So Package Cloud is basically a SaaS offering for hosting packages, and BuildKite has announced their acquisition, which is fantastic. So congrats to BuildKite. I think this is one of their first acquisitions, if I'm not mistaken. And so they're trying to up their game relative to packages, but they're also trying to improve the overall situation relative to packages and package management relative to CI. So congrats to BuildKite. If you want to check out BuildKite, check them out at buildkite.com. Again, they're Australian and we're fans of theirs, and we integrate with them as part of Octopus. But I was excited to see this, and I'm always happy when a scrappy startup or a scrappy little company down under can make it. So yeah, congrats to them.
Nice. All right, John. Um, this is what happens when you add your links late. They all get bumped up to the top, so you get to go first.
That's okay. Yeah, all good.
Forked gets renamed Open Tofu and joins
Yes.
the Linux Foundation. So we
All right,
talked
I'm
about
gonna.
Terraform before. I'm going to have to get used to
Yes.
calling it Open Tofu. That's
No, 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 no. That's not what this is. But though that's
oh,
okay.
the
So you
fork. The
can if you
fork is
want.
named Open Tofu. I
Yes,
got you.
that's
So
right.
it's
All right.
okay.
So there's a history here that I have to set just for folks to bring everyone up to speed. What's happened in the space of Terraform and HashiCorp? HashiCorp weeks ago, announced a licensing change. They moved from MPL to a business software license, or BSL. And as part of that process, there was a reaction by the community. I think this is a fair sort of summary of what happened. Uh, and the Open TF Foundation started. The Open Terraform, I guess TF was, assumed to be Terraform, Foundation opened, and they forked the code base for Terraform. The reason why is because of the license change. They have recently changed their name to Open Tofu, and for a variety of reasons. And the reason why mostly is to make sure that they're on board with a trademark of the Terraform name, etc. So they have recently applied to, I think, the Linux Foundation, and then as part of that, also the Cloud Native Computing Foundation, or the CNCF. This is big. This is very big news. So, yeah, the new name and the updates on what's happening is important. Now, the reasons why and how and where does this leave infrastructure as code, etc. I think this leaves it in a healthy space. I think HashiCorp will continue to innovate as well as these folks. But yeah, just mentioning that there.
So chat had to explain this to me, by the way. I did not. I was trying to figure out where the tofu came from, and I guess it's the TF from Terraform.
Yeah, they changed it. Yeah, they changed it because they were. I guess the thing that I had read was that folks were worried about violating trademark, so they
Yeah,
just changed it to tofu as a sort of hey, it means something, so that's
yeah.
fine.
These things get tricky. Like I always mess up a friend of mine's. He works for Couchbase, and I always get CouchDB and Couchbase confused because of
Oh, okay.
obvious similarities. And every time I make the mistake, he's always there to correct me. I feel bad when I do it. I know I'm doing bad, John, but I do it anyway. And then I get
You should
corrected.
feel
And I'm like,
bad
oh,
about
yeah.
this link.
Oh, really? Really? Is that
Yes,
where you want to go with
yes,
that?
yeah. Of course,
Oh
you
my
know me.
gosh.
I
Speaking
don't want to
of,
listen to this
yeah,
garbage.
speaking of drama with Unity,
Yes.
um, MetaConnect is next
Uh,
week. So September
Yay.
27th and 28th are the MetaConnect event, which the Meta company just had an event not that long ago where they announced some things, but the Connect MetaConnect is the one where they're going to focus on AI and VR.
Is this
So
like a virtual shower?
this is like the Microsoft build, or the
All the ads,
what's it
Batman.
called? The .NET. I know this is absurd today.
It's like whack-a-mole.
It's like the ad show today. Um, it's like .NET Conf, but for AI and virtual reality. So it's actually 2 days long, and I didn't get to fully like attend last year. But if you do get a chance, like there is a ton of sessions on everything. It's a pretty in depth event. They have
Oh my God,
the
he's smiling.
usual.
I've never seen him smile before.
That's his virtual avatar probably. They just, tweak
Ha
the
ha ha
smile
ha ha.
algorithm a little bit. Um, yeah, so he's happy. He's in the metaverse. Um, no, but they actually have a lot of sessions as part of this conference. It's not your usual like marketing conference where it's like a couple marketing keynote type things. This is like a full on virtual conference where you can go learn about specific technologies and how to implement games and things like that
Now,
in VR.
question. I know I'm being snarky, but is it done through Zoom, or do you have to join
It's a really
using
good question.
your headset? Yeah. Are they going to
That's
impose a headset requirement on the conference?
I don't know what streaming platform they use for this. And last year, I think I watched it after the fact, which I think they uploaded it to like YouTube or something. Um, that is an excellent question.
They should impose that as a requirement. In order to watch this thing, you've got to wear a headset.
Oh, that would be the Apple
Metaverse.
thing to do, wouldn't it?
Yeah, pretty
Remember when
much.
Apple used to have a an Apple device
QuickTime.
to watch their
Yep, you
their
need
silly
QuickTime.
events?
Yes.
Yeah, they recently stopped doing that. Like, is it like what 5 years ago or something? It
Yeah.
was absolutely absurd. Yeah. But yeah, check it out. I think I'm gonna try to attend this. I'm not working the 28th. I have the day off. But I'm gonna try to see what's going on the 27th and tune in for a couple things. Developer State of the Union feature presentation. Look at that. I desperately want one of these new headsets. So I will probably be catching this at least recorded.
My
So
dog
people
just
are
came
saying
into
they
my
lost you
office.
for a minute.
No, no,
Oh,
no, no. I'm still here. My dog came in, so I have to now. You can see her tail here. So she's decided to come in and say hi. So there you go.
I thought you were leaving because of all the AR VR talk.
Oh God, yes, of course, yes.
So yeah, make sure you check it out if you're interested in AR VR at all, and I'll try to have a little bit of a summary, but I'll be a little behind because I'm going to be out Thursday. Um,
Here's my dog.
yeah,
This
this
is
oh,
Pumpkin.
we
Sorry,
got
I have to introduce her. This is
there we
Pumpkin.
go. Hello, pumpkin.
Yes, yes. Sorry, first time on the stream.
We
She's a little nervous.
we were waiting for Pumpkin to finish some meetings last week before we got started.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
she held up the show last
She
week.
has a walkie meeting. Yes, that's right.
Yeah, important business to take care of. Uh, she seems like a very good dog, though. She's just letting
Eh,
you pick her up and manhandle her. She's fine with
yes,
it.
yes. I'm covered in dog hair now, so that'll be the with a
Those are the
black
best
shirt.
ones.
Perfect combo. Yes.
Those are the best ones that they don't like freak out when you pick them up and stuff. Chat loves pumpkin, by the way. All
Yes.
right, so I just saw this come across the wire, and this a couple days ago. Not realizing that there was an event coming up this week. So Panos Panay is like the face of like these marketing events, right? So Microsoft hardware, especially. Um, he was like their boardwalk pitch man for the Surface, basically, and looks like he's quote left to find new ambitions.
Other
I don't
ambitions,
know.
I guess. There
He's
you
moved
go.
on to greener pastures. I don't know what he's up to, but um, you've seen a lot of roles change over at Microsoft regarding like mixed reality and hardware and things.
Mm.
So I don't know if it's part of that or something else, but he was kind of the go-to guy for being able to show off the devices and he stuck around from like Windows Phone and everything else. So
Yeah,
don't know what
been there a long
he's
time.
moved on to, but there was a major event today, and I didn't see him being part of it, so he must have left immediately when that was posted last Friday. And there was a big Microsoft like event this afternoon, and I knew nothing about it until it was already done.
Okay.
Yeah, Dindle, the best phone. I agree.
Yes. Yes.
So this came out of kind of left field, but there's an announcement from Satya in a big long video on a bunch of like AI integrations with Windows. And I see this stuff come across. We've reported on a little bit of it where they've added these things to the developer, what not developer, what do they call it? The what's the fast ring on Windows called, where you can opt
Oh, the
in for
Insiders
like,
program.
yeah, the Insiders program. And some of this stuff's come through the Insiders program, so we've been knowledgeable of it. We haven't really put hands on it. Paul Thurrott's
Mm,
reported on quite a bit of it, actually.
yeah.
But there is integration. This is awkward trying to frame through this. This is very much like the CEO marketing part of it. There's a blog post maybe that has things outlined a little better as soon as I stopped on it too. Um, so Copilot, as we know, is a developer tool. It's now being rebranded and remarketed as a AI companion. So like Windows, in Windows Phone, we had Cortana. Remember that? How well that worked
Yep.
out.
Hey, come
This
on.
is like Cortana 2.0 now. So your virtual assistant is now Copilot, and it's more than just the virtual assistant that we used to have with Cortana and other assistants like Siri and Alexa. This one is kind of deeply integrated in Windows and some of the apps. So they're kind of touting like this AI on Windows thing now. Along with
It's
that were a bunch of
Clippy
updates.
2.0.
It is.
Sorry,
It's like
sorry, I had to.
so. No, it really is. It's like I see you're writing a letter there. Would you like help? Does that exact type of thing. Um, but they
Paint
did do,
integration, snipping tool integration. Look at this. Awesome.
yeah, a lot of AI integration with a lot of the Windows like fundamental tooling that we may or may not use every day, like Windows Paint. I don't think I've opened Paint in an eternity since like Windows 3.1 maybe, but apparently there is
It's got
some
the new
pretty
ribbon.
crazy enhancements to Paint. One of the biggest things that I saw in here didn't have to do with AI, but they've added layers to MS Paint. Watch out, Adobe.
Crazy. Yeah,
They're coming.
that's right. That's right.
It only took
Uh,
25 years, but they've got layers now. You better be careful. What's next?
you know what?
Full
I
color
do like the
palettes?
YouTube video. Jeez. I do like the YouTube videos of people trying to draw these insane things in paint only.
Yeah.
So
Pixel by pixel. You got to zoom in and do it pixel by pixel. The photo app, again, watch out, Adobe, here they come. Has AI to make editing quicker with like background blur. This is the same like background blur you get in like Microsoft Teams, I'm assuming, where you can just kind of take a headshot and blur out the background. Let's see,
did you see
snipping
that note
tool. This
about
is actually
Notepad?
really cool.
Yeah, go
What's
ahead.
that?
Sorry.
Oh, I didn't get to Notepad yet.
There's that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry.
I don't know if you've ever used this on your phone, John. You use the iPhone or Android phone. I know they
The
both
iPhone.
have it, but I'm just curious. You have an iPhone?
Hmm.
Oh,
Hmm.
God bless. Uh, I don't know if I can take you seriously anymore, but
Oh
um,
my God.
I'm kidding, of course. I think they have this feature on there as well. But on the Android phone, you swipe up, and anything that's on the screen, you can immediately like copy text off of, regardless of whether it's
Yep.
text based or not.
Yep.
So we'll do
Hmm.
like image recognition and text recognition, all
Hmm.
of that
Hmm.
immediately.
Hmm.
So they've added that to the snipping tool in Windows, which is so helpful. I don't know how many times I've gotten something I wanted to copy and paste text out of that was an image. And if you're doing expense reporting and you have a receipt you took a photo of and you just want to get the price
Yes.
of something off of that, you can just copy and paste it. So much easier. So snipping tool got that. They added audio support as well, which is brand new. Um, I don't know what Clipchamp is. This is the first time I've seen it. something to like compile social media posts. I've never heard of this. Have you? You
Nope.
seem like the kind of person that spends a lot of time on TikTok and Instagram, so I thought I'd ask.
What?
Uh,
What? What does that mean?
I'm totally kidding. Uh, Neither one of
You
us are
seem like the
like
type of
the
person who's on TikTok. God. All right.
neither one of us are like the online influencer type. So neither one of us have heard of Clipchamp before. I doubt my kids have either. I've never heard of this, but apparently it's a thing, and it's being updated. So good for that. Good for it. Notepad. What do you have to say about Notepad, John? What do we have here?
Oh, just that you will automatically save your state. It's turning into like an Office app now, so you can
Oh,
close
okay.
Notepad and then reopen it, and it will save where you left off. This is great because a lot of times I use Notepad as a scratch pad, and then something goes wrong, and Notepad closes. You're like, no, I lost all my data. So
Yeah, I don't normally use Notepad. I use like Markdown and stuff like that.
sure.
But I might actually use Notepad again now that it's a little bit better. New Outlook. I think I've been test driving this for a while, so it's not so new to me. It really looks just like a reskinned Outlook to me. I haven't seen anything wildly different in it, to be honest. Uh, I'm kind of meh about Outlook. Let's see. Modernized File Explorer. Some of this I've noticed actually in Windows already. I don't know if
Hmm.
they rolled out some of these changes kind of incrementally, but we've got like tab support and everything in the File Explorer now, which is totally awesome. Got like multiple tabs, um, Explorer bar, all that has been updated. Blah blah blah. Lots of stuff here, but
Yep.
mostly the AI integration's pretty wild. DAL-E is integrated into Bing Image Creator. That I'll have to check out. Uh, yeah, just all the AI stuff. They're really putting a buzz around AI, and of course the new hardware as well. So new Surface Laptop Studio 2. I have the Surface Laptop Studio 1. I love it. I had the
Oh.
other Surface, the one that like broke into two pieces and you could use like the tablet part of it. That thing was terrible.
Hmm.
Always had issues with it, but ever since they stopped trying to take the thing and make two pieces out of it, it's been a great machine. So excited to see a new one. Big announcements for this one would be the fingerprint scanner built right into the power button. I like that ability to be able to just use bio authentication right there to unlock the device. They do have like the camera Windows Hello thing already on the existing one, but I always
Sure.
find the thumbprint fingerprint readers to be a lot more just intuitive, just easier to use. Like you don't have to sit there and like move your head around and make sure it's getting the right angle of your face to unlock it. You just touch the device. You're gonna touch it anyway, right? That's what I liked about my the sensor on the phone is the phones that I buy, I get the ones where the thumbprint identification is where you're going to touch the phone, which is mainly on the screens. Like the Google Pixel has it right on the screen. You're picking it up and you're going to
Yeah.
thumb the
Yeah.
screen anyway. You might as well just,
Yeah.
you know, authenticate the device right there. So that's a good feature. They did have a demo in uh, their big montage that we had on this page here, the big announcement montage where they like pitted it against one of the MacBook Pros, and then like did like the most unfair thing to do against a MacBook Pro, and that's render 3D uh, video with Blender because that's what
Oh
MacBook
wow.
people are doing apparently. But yeah, big surprise! It beats the MacBook Pro hands down. Are you surprised, John? Like, has this come as a
Yeah,
surprise
because
to you?
I have an M2. I feel insulted. So this is like that's my machine. That is literally my
But
machine. I'm talking
do
to you
you
through.
do you feel like it could hold a candle to a PC that has a 3D graphics processor on it for rendering 3D video?
I am very impressed by my M2. I'll just keep it at that.
I'm impressed by them too, but as a hardware engineer in a past life, I know how these things work, and their graphics capabilities are just not on par. I mean, they're great. They're an excellent baseline. They're way better than anything Intel's ever done as far
Check out
as
that awesome app. Sorry,
graphics on
I
a
didn't mean to
baseline.
interrupt you, but yeah,
So they're what
Battleship
they're doing
Gray.
is they're processing large language models
Yeah, I know.
while
Yeah.
they're waiting for the MacBook to finish its work. So basically,
Hmm.
they're just showing off. They're doing a victory lap on.
Yes.
But this is like such an unfair demo. As much as I love it, it's an unfair demo. Like, what percentage of Mac users are doing this?
You got to have the presenter pose, the hands together, pressed together. Like, yes, yes, we must. Every keynote presentation has to have that presenter pose. I'm more of a flail type presenter, but I like the presenters who come up with the. So we thought about this, we thought about that. That's always a good way to
Yeah,
do it.
it's like it's like showing a race car versus a luxury car, and it's like, all right, how many people are going to take this on a racetrack and like try to you know duel it out
I'll
on
wait.
a
I'll wait. I'll
huh?
wait for stuff to render. I'll wait. I wait for the network. I live in Australia. We have terrible internet sometimes. Like, I'll wait. It's like takes 300 milliseconds easy to circumnavigate the speed of light can't go any faster. So I'll wait. It's fine. I'm not. Who are you? The president? You're not this busy. That You're like, oh, 8 seconds. I can't wait. Sort of thing. Like, all right,
Who has
whatever.
ever sat and what waited for video to render ever? I'm just curious. Like
I
speed
don't. I
does
just.
matter at
I
some
hit.
point.
I
Like
know.
you don't want to like put it in
Of
the
course.
background
Not
for like
hours.
hours,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, yeah, yeah. But I'll hit encode, and then I'll go get a coffee, come back. Oh, it's done. Perfect. Great. I'm not like, oh, it's not done yet. Sort of thing.
yeah.
Anyway.
And if you bought a MacBook Pro for this task, you bought the wrong laptop. You bought the wrong tool for the job. Like this was a weird comparison, but it's one they could win,
I'll
so
dig a
why
hole with
not,
it.
right?
People, you can dig a hole with a shotgun. It just takes a lot of bullets. So
But it's fast. I think is their point.
yeah,
If you want a machine that is a good or a great office PC and also can like support a casual gaming habit, like it's a great machine. Like grab it, do VR
there
on
you
it,
go.
whatever. See how I brought it back? John brought back the VR AR stuff. You could totally do like VR and AR on the Surface Laptop Studio.
How,
MacBook Pro
how
probably
about
not so
no?
much, but you
No.
got a $3,500 Vision headset for that if that's what you want to do. Um, yeah. Google's doing the AI stuff too.
Okay.
This one's pretty interesting, John. So they're developing an AI powered augmented reality microscope that will help detect cancer cells.
hmm They've been
So
doing this for a while in the medical field. They've been using this
mhm.
especially with ultrasound. It's sort of like it's a augment to not augment. Sorry, it's ancillary. It's a companion to the doctor for analysis. I've seen a lot of I've read a lot of anecdotal reports of high success rates for detecting, even going beyond what oncologists might find, for example. So yeah,
Yeah, I think, like you said, they've done this type of stuff with other tech as well, with like
hmm
what do they call X-rays and CT scans and that sort of thing. And this is just putting
yeah.
another real-time layer on
Nuclear
top of
medicine. It's all nuclear.
microscope.
It's all nuclear
Yeah,
medicine, basically. Yeah. So
yeah,
radiologists use this all the time to complement. So
probably a little bit more buzzwordy than it needed to be, but it's a worthy cause. I think it's pretty cool tech.
I mean, at the end of the day, the computer's just looking at circles, right? So cells, meaning, yeah,
Hmm. It's looking for patterns using AI, machine learning to
yeah,
kind
yeah,
of
yeah.
help human eyes look at something. And then what's Splunk, John? I don't know what Splunk is. This must be
What
another
what
CI/CD
is
thing.
Splunk? No, it is not. So Splunk is for lack of a better term, a log tool. So Splunk allows you to aggregate large amounts of logs and gain meaningful insights from them. And so Splunk has, I believe it's in this announcement, has, I guess according to this, united with Cisco. I think the title of what is the title of this blog post? It's at the top there. I think you scroll down.
Yeah,
Yeah, Splunk
Cisco
and
Unite.
so yeah, Splunk has been acquired. It looks like by Cisco. So, which is I don't know. It's a weird marriage to me. I don't on the surface. My reaction is like, huh? Because Cisco, I've always equated as like the phone company. Like they're the ones who put all those networked phones in your office, etc. And they do back in the day, you used to do a lot of network gear, and now they've you know now part of Cisco. Splunk is now part of Cisco. Okay, fair enough. So but it's a huge acquisition. Splunk is by no means a small company. I don't know what the
Yeah.
final price tag was for this, but
Yeah.
yeah,
I
interesting
mean,
news.
AI makes a lot of sense when you think about network security.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I can get that part of it. Uh, it's similar to the other thing that we are looking at with the cancer cell type of thing, where you're looking for patterns and anomalies and stuff like that. And if you can do anomaly detection across a network, then usually you can pick up traffic that is, malicious, that type of thing. So maybe that's their direction with this.
Okay,
Yeah. This is very, again, very marketing heavy. Digital transformation, John.
that's
Are you
all
part
these
of
words.
digital transformation these days?
Yes, all right. I'll
Have
say
you
whatever you want me to say. Just move
yeah,
on.
have you integrated Splunk's digital transformation into your digital factory, John? Have you?
You can generate these things with AI, these sort of press releases. So I think we should come up with one.
We
So
should we should create one like weekly AI generated newsletter of just buzzwords, and the C-level staff rejoices. Anyway, on to some low level tech here. What's new in system.text.json and .NET 8? We've had like the .NET 8 train rolling for the last couple weeks here with all
yes,
the new stuff.
yes.
Um, one of the big ones here, actually, I ran into this bug, or not bug, but lack of support, I guess, more than anything, compatibility issue. When I was updating a project recently, adding nullability context. And nullability context is something they added in .NET 8, or sorry, .NET 6, and they turned it on by default in new projects. So it was like C Sharp 8 .NET 6. It's like, hey, we've added this nullability context to the compiler, and it's going to be on by default now. So you're just going to have to deal with all these new warnings that come up. And then people started combating these null warnings. They're things like, you're assigning something that could possibly be null to something that can't be null. And there's not a lot of guidance around like how to resolve these warnings. So in C Sharp 11, they added something called the required keyword modifier. So if you have a class like this one, it's a great example here. It's a public required some value, or some type of some value. When you new this thing up, basically, I don't know why they called it complex, but whenever you new up this foo of record, like you have to satisfy the required properties of it through an object
There.
initializer.
The person who wrote this is a math wonk. It's a complex number, so it's either real or
Oh, okay.
imaginary. Yeah.
So to new this thing up, I don't have my Zoomy tool on here. Let's do this. You would have to do this, or you'd get a compiler error. So you'd have to say a new, I'll just call it foo here, and then you'd have to use one of these curly brace operators here.
Inline initializer.
Yeah, you have to do the object initializer here, and you'd have to have a
Hmm.
real of some value, and then the whatever this imaginary number of some value. If you
It's a
didn't do
Boolean.
that, if you
Yeah.
just tried, give me this, it's going to say, no, these are required. You cannot just new this up without
Yeah. Yeah.
setting these values. The problem is when you use required, you try to use the JSON serializer source generators, it throws a fit, basically breaks it, and it throws an error because behind the scenes the what's it called, the source generator will generate the code just how I typed it. It'll just say new,
Yeah.
and then it'll try to set the values after that. Doesn't like that, blows up, throws an error, says you can't do this. You have to set the required fields. So then you can't use this fancy attribute for the source compiler or source generator. You also hit that issue with some other things with required, but to make a very long story finally short, now in .NET 8, you can use the required along with the source generator, and it works fine.
Beautiful.
So that finally patches that up. There's some other housekeeping type of things in here. A lot of it's to do with source generation, though. I guess the way that we used to do this is through reflection.
Yeah.
So a lot of the JSON serialization stuff was done through reflection. They added the source generators in there for optimization. It's a little bit less intensive than decorating every single property on an object.
Oh God, yes, yes.
But it's not quite as magical as using reflection. So you do have to upkeep some of the code if there's like a major change to a class, but you can decorate like the top level of that class instead of every element on it, every member of it. So yeah, so this means I don't need 200 default values with my constructors. Almost, we're getting there. You're still going to hit issues with required when you do JavaScript interop and any kind of interop through parts of the system that aren't like standard .NET libraries. It's weird. Yeah, required was a great idea, but it hasn't seen its full potential yet. That's the political way of saying it. Barely works. It's a nice feature someday. Someday. All right. That's all we got, John.
Yes.
That's it from me. Do you have any cool events or anything coming up? You did a webinar today. Is that something that you are going to be sharing online? Is it going to be recorded and available?
Go check out our YouTube channel. They all get published there. Octopus.com/events. Those are the events that we're going to. We're going to KubeCon, going to DevOps Enterprise Summit, going to GitHub Universe. Lots of stuff going on. So yeah, really, 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 really busy. And we've got lots of stuff that's coming on there. We've got Deployment Friday, which is our show, coming up later today. So yeah, lots of content. More content.
Lots of stuff coming up on your YouTube channel, ours as well. So I did a couple webinars last week too, and they should be up. There we are. Yeah, both of them are up there. There is the modernization through migration Blazor workshop, which Jeff Fritz joined me for.
Hey.
And it turned out to be what I think it was a great show. We had a couple hiccups here and there with the .NET 8 pre-releases being like pushed out. Like it broke some of my demos early on, but we resolved that pretty quickly. We took this simple web forms application and then rewrote the application migrated the application. We did have to do a little rewriting of some of the stuff with the help of Telerik UI for Blazor. We made pretty short work out of it. But yeah, there's the new version of the app right there. So we migrated the entire back end of the app through the Visual Studio upgrade tool, the .NET upgrade tool. That thing is phenomenal. Have you seen it?
Yeah, I have, yep.
Yeah, you just fire it up, point it at a project, and it's like, here's the things you can migrate, and it does its best to like get them to the latest version of .NET. We did that, patched in the things that were, major breaking changes that couldn't be migrated. And then all the views had to be rewritten because, there's no one-to-one translation of a web form page to a Blazor app component. So basically just took the Telerik UI for Blazor tools and pointed it at the models and said, do some scaffolding for me.
Yep.
Created a grid, created an editor, all that stuff, and then just kind of fine-tuned, the column headers and some of the validation, things like that, and it was done. So within it was a 4-hour time frame, we talked about migration strategy for about 45 minutes, and then in 3 hours we had the app migrated. Not bad at all.
Sweet.
Yeah, so you can check that out on our YouTube channel up at youtube.com/Telerik and youtube.com/octopus deploy. Make sure you give those two a look. And let's see, we've got a couple shows coming up here on our Twitch channel as well. I think there's an interview with Scott Hunter soon. That's
Nice.
going to be pretty cool. Scott. Scott's just all around great guy. He's coming out to DevReach, so we're doing some DevReach interviews. And
Nice.
keep
Look at this. I'm
tuned
covered in dog hair.
for that.
I'm covered in dog hair just from holding Pumpkin. Pumpkin's looking at me now. She wants to go for a walk. You can see her tail in the corner here. So she's like,
Scott.
Are we going?
Scott's coming to DevReach in Sofia. Nice. Be nice to see you there. Make sure you stop by.
Oh,
say
there
hi.
you go. Nice.
We need to get Pumpkin to DevReach.
Oh God. Good basket case. I'll be banned from Bulgaria if I bring her to any country.
Tyndall says I'm too cheap to go to Bulgaria. You're already halfway there, my friend. Like, you don't have that far to go. I mean, you can visit whoever you'd like once you're there, but hop on a plane, get on over to Sofia. It's just a couple hours from where you're at. I've got to travel like 22 hours or some crazy thing like that. It's like, no, I think it's 17.
You people who don't
17
live in
and a half
Australia.
hours.
Oh, you people who don't live in Australia, in the basement of the world, talking about flying times. Anyway.
Yeah.
I gotta run, dude. My dog's looking at me like I gotta go to the bathroom. So
Take
sorry,
care,
folks.
We will see you. We'll see you not next week, but we will see you soon.
All right.
Take care.